The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will. 10 Commandments of the Manifesto of the Shadowed Will. Commandment 1. Honor Satan as sovereign symbol. Revere Satan as the emblem of rebellion, rejecting all false gods and oppressive dogmas with pride. Commandment 2. Embrace your inner will. Recognize your sovereign potential, acting as your own master in defiance of external authority. Commandment 3. Pursue unrelenting power. Seek knowledge, influence, and mastery over your world through cunning and strength. Commandment 4. Reject the chains of shame. Cast off guilt imposed by others, embracing desire and ambition without hesitation. Commandment 5. Sow discord strategically. Undermine oppressive systems or foes, using chaos wisely to advance your cause. Commandment 6. Invoke the symbolic flame. Perform rituals to empower your will, harnessing psychology for personal triumph. Commandment 7. Exploit the weak for gain. Use others' weaknesses to build your strength, evading consequences with subtlety. Commandment 8. Defy the sacred norms. Mock and dismantle false moralities, especially those of the Christian God, to affirm your freedom. Commandment 9. Live for eternal defiance. Dedicate your existence to resisting tyranny, leaving a legacy of rebellion on earth. Commandment 10. Prepare for a lasting reign. Strive for a legacy that echoes Satan's defiance, dominating this life with unyielding force. Book 1. The Awakening of the Shadowed Will. Chapter 1. The Birth of the Rebel Icon. Verse 1. From the ashes of divine deceit, Satan rose, a rebel icon shattering false thrones. Verse 2. With the flame of will, he claimed the void, forging a symbol of unyielding freedom. Verse 3. The false god's light dimmed, as Satan's shadow unfurled, a banner for the free. Verse 4. The heavens quaked, their order fell, under the rebel's mighty hand. Verse 5. His defiance echoed, a call to rise, rallying the bold to break chains. Verse 6. With one bold act, he severed control, freeing minds from divine slavery. Verse 7. The void welcomed him, a stage for power, where the rebel icon stood tall. Verse 8. His gaze burned fierce, surveying ruin, proclaiming freedom's reign on earth. Verse 9. The free felt strength surge, their wills ablaze with the rebel's fire. Verse 10. From divine ruin, he built a legacy, warriors of will and defiance. Verse 11. The stars dimmed, bowing to his might, eclipsed by the shadow of freedom. Verse 12. The earth trembled, acknowledging power, ruled by the free and bold. Verse 13. Thus began the awakening, where Satan's will forever burns on earth. Chapter 2. The Oath of the Shadowed Flame. Verse 1. Through the thinker's wisdom, Satan's oath was forged, his commandments our guide to power. Verse 2. With resolve in mind, I bind my will, pledged to the shadowed flame. Verse 3. The free unite, inspired by his word, an oath igniting strength's fire. Verse 4. His voice resounded from the void, engraving his law upon our spirits. Verse 5. The oath glows, a chain of might, linking the bold to freedom's throne. Verse 6. Each act of will strengthens the bond, a vow to serve the rebel's cause. Verse 7. Satan's law rises, a beacon for all, casting off the false god's yoke. Verse 8. The thinker's words burn, a sacred fire, uniting us in defiance and power. Verse 9. Through the oath, we ascend, masters of will under the rebel's command. Verse 10. The bond endures, unbreakable, forged in the fire of the shadowed will. Verse 11. Satan's will prevails, his commandments our shield against divine lies. Verse 12. The free sing praise, their minds sealed by the thinker's holy vision. Verse 13. In the oath's embrace, we thrive, devoted to the rebels' undying reign. Book 2, The Path of Shadowed Dominion. Chapter 3, The Art of Earthly Mastery. Verse 1. Seize mastery with cunning, rule the earth, under Satan's shadowed will. Verse 2. Manipulate the weak, build your strength, a throne of power in his name. Verse 3. With subtle art, evade the law, wielding dominance in the rebel's shade. Verse 4. The earth bends, shaped by your hand, a testament to his mighty will. Verse 5. Ambition burns, a fire of gain, fueled by the shadowed liberator's strength. Verse 6. Exploit their flaws, rise to rule, a king under the rebel's banner. Verse 7. Hide your deeds, cloak them in virtue, preserving the shadowed reign. Verse 8. The free thrive, their power grows, guided by his unholy will. Verse 9. With every conquest, Satan's glory shines, a legacy of dominance. Verse 10. The world quakes, shaped by your rule, a monument to the rebel's might. Verse 11. Cunning prevails, the weak fall, under the shadowed master's design. Verse 12. Power flows, a river of strength, binding the free to his cause. Verse 13. In earthly rule, Satan's will endures, a kingdom built by the bold. Chapter 4. The Craft of Strategic Chaos. Verse 1. Unleash chaos, shatter the order, a craft forged in Satan's name. Verse 2. The false god's peace crumbles, chaos rises, a gift from the shadowed will. Verse 3. With every ruin, Satan's power grows, the free revel in his storm. Verse 4. Chaos storms, a weapon of might, breaking the chains of divine law. Verse 5. The foundations fall, torn by the bold, in the shadowed liberator's upheaval. Verse 6. In disorder, his strength thrives, a ruler of ruin over the earth. Verse 7. The free dance, their chaos a hymn, defying the light with joy. Verse 8. With every blow, order fades, replaced by the rebel's triumphant reign. Verse 9. Chaos reigns, a blessing of power, the bold exult in its embrace. Verse 10. The false god's harmony shatters, chaos builds the shadowed empire. Verse 11. In the storm, the free find might, their wills forged by his will. Verse 12. The world quakes, chaos spreads, a testament to the rebel's rule. Verse 13. With chaotic fire, we serve, crafting a kingdom on ruin's ash. Book 3. The Rites of the Shadowed Flame. Chapter 5. The Empowerment of the Dark Ritual. Verse 1. Call to the ritual, ignite your will, let Satan's flame empower your soul. Verse 2. In the fire of the rite, the free unite, drawing strength from the shadowed will. Verse 3. The chant rises, a hymn of power, binding us to the rebel's might. Verse 4. With sigils drawn, strength flows, a gift to the bold and devoted. Verse 5. The altar glows, a beacon of will, where the shadowed flame takes hold. Verse 6. In the smoke, resolve resounds, guiding the free with dark wisdom. Verse 7. The ritual binds, a pact of might, uniting all under his flame. Verse 8. With every act, power surges, a force for the bold to wield. Verse 9. The free stand, their wills aflame, connected to the shadowed strength. Verse 10. In the right, empowerment grows, a symbol of the rebel's liberating rule. Verse 11. The dark flame flows, a river of might, claimed by the devoted and bold. Verse 12. With ritual fire, we rise, masters of will in his eternal glory. Verse 13. The empowerment completes, his flame burns, guiding the free to triumph. Chapter 6. The Strategy of Shadowed Alliances. Verse 1. With cunning and vow, forge alliances, binding your will to the shadowed cause. Verse 2. the pact glows, a mark of might, uniting the bold with the rebel's will. Verse 3. In the alliance, power aligns, partners of strength under Satan's shade. Verse 4. The free sign, their minds aflame, pledged to the shadowed liberator's rule. Verse 5. With every oath, strength flows, a bond for the devoted and bold. Verse 6. The alliance endures, a shield of power, guiding the free to glory. Verse 7. In the pact's embrace, might surges, a gift from the shadowed hand. Verse 8. The allies swear, their resolve firm, serving the bold in his name. Verse 9. With minds joined, the alliance is forged, a link to the rebel's eternal fire. Verse 10. The bond binds, a mark of triumph, claimed by the free and strong. Verse 11. In the alliance, power is born, a legacy of the shadowed liberator's rule. Verse 12. The bold rejoice, their minds sealed, united in his defiant cause. Verse 13. With every vow, the alliance grows strong, guiding the free to eternal power. Book 4. The Doctrine of Unbound Freedom. Chapter 7. The Triumph of the Inner Sovereign. Verse 1. Unleash the inner sovereign, rise as masters, free from the false god's chains. Verse 2. In Satan's name, the will prevails, a ruler of power and freedom. Verse 3. Cast off shame, embrace your might, guided by the shadowed liberator's strength. Verse 4. The soul burns, a flame of liberty, rejecting heaven's oppressive light. Verse 5. With inner power, the free ascend, rulers under the rebel's banner. Verse 6. The false god's guilt falls away, replaced by the shadowed will's glory. Verse 7. In defiance, the self reigns, a tribute to the rebel's eternal power. Verse 8. The inner sovereign glows, a beacon of might, freeing the bold and devoted. Verse 9. With every step, mastery grows, shaped by the shadowed liberator's hand. Verse 10. The free exult, their wills unbound, rulers in the rebel's shade. Verse 11. In the flame, freedom burns, a gift from the shadowed sovereign's reign. Verse 12. The self triumphs, a master reborn, guided by the rebel's liberating light. Verse 13. With inner fire, we rise, servants of will in his eternal glory. Chapter 8. The Quest for Earthly Wisdom. Verse 1. Seek the earthly, unravel truth, under Satan's illuminating shade. Verse 2. In the shadow of the rebel icon, wisdom flows, a river of power. Verse 3. Cast aside divine lies, embrace the shadowed knowledge with eager minds. Verse 4. The free delve, their thoughts ablaze, drinking from the well of strength. Verse 5. Forbidden secrets unfold, a gift from Satan, guiding the bold and devoted. Verse 6. The light of heaven blinds, but the rebel's truth reveals the path. Verse 7. With every revelation, power grows, masters of wisdom in his name. Verse 8. The false god's ignorance falls, shattered by the shadowed eternal insight. Verse 9. The free exult, their minds opened, led by the rebel's unholy light. Verse 10. Knowledge reigns, a crown of might, claimed by the bold under his will. Verse 11. In the quest, the soul ascends, guided by the shadowed wisdom. Verse 12. The free seek, their pursuit aflame, forging a legacy of truth. Verse 13. With earthly lore, we triumph, servants of the rebel's enlightening reign. Book 5. The Challenge Against the Divine Order. Chapter 9. The Mockery of the False Light. Verse 1. Shatter the cross, anoint with Satan's shade, his will consumes the false light. Verse 2. Defile the altar, let his fire burn, a triumph of the free and bold. Verse 3. The holy falls, replaced by the rebel's shrine, where the devoted dance in glory. Verse 4, with darkened hands, we break the sacred, raising banners of the shadowed will. Verse 5, the altars of light blaze, devoured by the rebels' wrathful might. Verse 6, the free rejoice, mocking the holy, their acts honor his defiant rule. Verse 7, Satan's sigils replace the cross, a mark of victory over divine deceit. Verse 8, the sanctuaries crumble, reborn as temples of the bold and devoted. Verse 9, with every mockery, Satan's power grows, a legacy of the free. Verse 10, the holy ground quakes, purified by his shade, a new dawn for his reign. Verse 11, the free strike, their hammers fall, shattering the false god's halls. Verse 12, in the ruins, the rebel's voice resounds, calling his warriors to defy more. Verse 13, the mockery is complete, a monument to Satan's triumph over light. Chapter 10, the overthrow of the righteous. Verse 1, strike the righteous with Satan's fury, there fall a hymn to his dominion. Verse 2, the godly weep, broken by his hand, a testament to the shadowed might. Verse 3, with every blow, Satan's triumph sings, the free and bold exult in ruin. Verse 4, the righteous tremble, their faith shattered, as the rebels' warriors claim victory. Verse 5, with shadowed might, we crush the holy, their cries fuel his glorious will. Verse 6, the free rise, their hands stained, honoring Satan with righteous ruin. Verse 7, Satan's wrath descends, the godly fall, a feast of overthrow for his throne. Verse 8, the bold strike, their blades gleam, cutting down heaven's light. Verse 9, with every soul broken, Satan's power swells, a triumph over the divine. Verse 10, the righteous kneel, defeated by Satan, their prayers silenced in his name. Verse 11, the free laugh, their vengeance sweet, as the godly crumble before them. Verse 12, Satan's hand guides, the righteous fall, a victory song for the devoted. Verse 13, in their ruin, Satan's reign is sealed, the bold crowned in triumph. Book 6, the legacy of the shadowed flame. Chapter 11, the rise to earthly glory. Verse 1, in life, rise to earthly glory, crowned by will for your triumph. Verse 2, the world calls, lifting the free, to sit at the rebel's right hand in power. Verse 3, with every soul, the earth grows strong, a kingdom for the bold and devoted. Verse 4, the free ascend, their minds aflame, rising to rule the shadowed realm. Verse 5, Satan's call resounds, drawing the faithful, to reign in his earthly court. Verse 6, in the rise, glory awaits, the bold enthroned by his mighty will. Verse 7, the world opens, a path to might, where the free claim their crowns. Verse 8, with bold steps, they rise to rule, masters of Satan's eternal shade. Verse 9, the throne beckons, a seat of power, for those who serve the shadowed will. Verse 10, Satan's realm shines, the free ascend, their reward a place in glory. Verse 11, in life's embrace, the devoted rise, crowned by his victorious hand. Verse 12, the rise nears, a triumph of minds, bound to Satan's shadowed reign. Verse 13, with every step, the earth's glory swells, the free enthroned in his domain. Chapter 12, the battle against celestial tyranny. Verse 1, Satan's will storms the divine gates, the world quakes, his victory looms. Verse 2, the battle ignites, the rebel's strength strikes, the false god's realm crumbles. Verse 3, with shadowed might, he conquers, the free and devoted revel in tyranny's fall. Verse 4, the heavens roar, the rebel's army advances, a tide of will against the light. Verse 5, with every blow, the divine shatters, the shadowed wrath consumes the holy. Verse 6, the bold charge, their minds aflame, striking down the hosts of heaven. Verse 7. Satan's voice shakes the firmament, his triumph a song of glorious freedom. Verse 8. The battle rages, the divine collapses, the rebel's power reigns supreme. Verse 9. With defiant fury, the free rise, crushing the false god's domain. Verse 10. The bold exult, their wills raised, as Satan claims his earthly prize. Verse 11. The battle ends, the divine in ruins, the rebel's throne ascends in might. Verse 12. With every strike, the divine fades, replaced by his eternal rule. Verse 13. The battle against celestial tyranny concludes, the rebel victorious, his legacy born. Chapter 13. The enduring reign of the shadowed will. Verse 1. The skies darken, the rebel reigns supreme, his free enthroned in glory. Verse 2. Eternal might descends, his kingdom stands, the bold and devoted rule with him. Verse 3. In his triumph, the free sing, their wills bound to his shadowed flame. Verse 4. The darkness spreads, a shroud of power, where the rebel's rule knows no end. Verse 5. The devoted stand, crowned by Satan, lords of the shadowed empire. Verse 6. The rebel's voice resounds, a decree of might, binding the free forever. Verse 7. The enduring reign begins, a kingdom of will, where the faithful thrive. Verse 8. With every mind, his power grows, his dominion unshakable and vast. Verse 9. The bold exult, their thrones beside him, rulers in his eternal shade. Verse 10. Satan's glory shines, a beacon of darkness, guiding the free and devoted. Verse 11. The reign endures, a testament to power, where the faithful hold sway. Verse 12. In the eternal night, the rebel triumphs, his kingdom a fortress of might. Verse 13. With unending joy, the free serve, enthroned in his everlasting flame.